What's up, guys? Merry Christmas. British versus American Christmas. Which one does it best? We have both the flags behind us, but who's going to come out the victor in this challenge? Lawrence is going to be the judge of that. This is the Lost in Pond YouTube channel. I'm sure most of you guys are very familiar. He's a British guy who's lived in America for a long time, so he's a good judge, and we'll take his word as truth, as fact. Okay? Let's dive into this. Let's find out.
Hey, it's that time of year again where my costume department decides,
Christmas.
you know what, let's put our jobs on the line. In a few short days, it will be Christmas. And because of that, it seemed like an appropriate time to tell you which country, Britain or America, does Christmas better. That's sure, I'm definitely going to get cancelled.
You're not, Lawrence. You're not.
Basically, I grew up in Britain and lived there for 26 years. For the past 14, I've lived in the United States. I've seen my fair share of British and American Christmases to know what I'm talking about. And what we've decided to do is rank it based on categories, right? So the country that comes out on top in the most categories has the best Christmases. It really is that simple. So, you know, sit back, get yourself a glass of eggnog or Advocaat, and raise a toast to this scientific, completely unbiased view of Christmases on either side of the pond. This is already going to be so hard. Decorations. Who does the best decorations? It's a really difficult question to answer because on the one hand, Britain keeps it simple. I like simplicity. You know, there's not too much on the front of our houses. Just maybe the occasional string of...
I already know you guys are getting the point here. We know this. When it comes to decorations, you're always going to win. You always do things bigger than us. More extravagant. I've got no problem with it.
Lights that's hanging off.
Give him the point.
You know, somebody named Colin decided to cut them down when I was 6 years old. But then on the other hand, you know, maybe if you're into the glitz and glamour and all of that, and sometimes I am in that mood, America is where it's at. These lights that you see down the streets are absolutely mental. I've told you about this before, but just down my street here, half of the houses look like slot machines.
See, as an adult, I don't really care that much, but if I did have kids or when I was a kid, I would love that to be able to like go and show the kids that because it would get them in the Christmas spirit so much more. I'd love to have those lights around, but I would never do that myself. That's so much effort.
It's like you're at the arcade on the seafront at Cleethorpes. That's just where I was born. And sometimes it'll even sound like it, because you can drive up to the really special houses, stick on the radio to a specific frequency, and it'll play a soundtrack. And the lights will just blink off and on like this, just, you know, without the hand motions, unless you have animatronics, which actually is often the case. So on that score, America comes out on top, and I suppose it's really hard to ignore. So I think based on the craziness of American decorations, and that's not even touching the things that people have in their houses, because who does that? Burglars and Santa. I think America comes out on top on this, so I'd have to give them the victory there.
Give it to them. That's fair enough. Traditions. We're the old. We're here. I can't speak, guys. We're the older country. Traditions. We should be winning this. This should be a point in the bag. I reckon. But I don't know what your traditions are, but I reckon we've got the point in the bag.
Yeah, I'm not much of a traditionalist. Clearly, I'm doing a YouTube video in my pajamas. But there are some traditions that I do like. Birthdays is one of them, and Christmas is another, because both countries have their fair share of traditions that come along with it. It's a tradition in England to pull a cracker sometime after dinner, just all day.
See, I said this in the last video. Look up this video, right? You guys were saying you don't really watch or pull crackers. Look, so here, this guy is clearly going to win because look where he's put his thumb. He's cheating. He's got his thumb like way further up the cracker than she does. She's only holding it by the handle. He's got his thumb way further up. So if you ever do a cracker pull, you need to do what this guy does. Guaranteed victory. Guaranteed.
Tradition in England to pull a cracker sometime after dinner.
She never had a chance. Never had a
it can be fun when you're 6. And wearing those really cool party hats. Don't tell the costume department about those. And in some respects, the nostalgia of doing some of those things and leaving out mince pies for Santa Claus does really hit home in this very, very tiny heart of mine. But in some ways, I suppose that American Christmas traditions have become somewhat of a novelty for me. I like going out on New Year's Eve dressed in just my pajamas to look at the Christmas lights. Is that just my wife's family? Let me know in the comments below if that is an American thing or if my wife's family are weird. And I suppose what's extra weird about that is that on Christmas morning, another tradition in my wife's family is to give us pajamas. It's like the circle of life. On Christmas Eve, you wear the pajamas that you got last year, and then they just renew the next day. And then you don't touch
not a
them
bad
again for
tradition.
another 364 days. It's difficult. I almost feel like I have to flip a coin. So I'm going to go with America. No.
Lawrence, man, you're forgetting your roots, buddy. You're forgetting your roots.
Britain. No, America.
We're just joking. We're just joking. He's giving it to America.
Music is going to be a hard one because let's face it.
Music. Come on now. Come on now. Look, he's got the... Even if your music is better at Christmas, I don't know. I have no idea. He has a Beatles poster behind him. He's going to choose England for music.
Most Christmas music is insufferably cheesy. On the one hand, with British music, you have Wonderful Christmas Time, which, let's face it, should be prosecuted for war crimes. And I'm a huge Beatles fan, right? I've got nothing against Paul McCartney, but the lyrics, the choir of children sing their song, ding dong, ding dong, ding dong. Sounds like it was written by a choir of children. On the other hand, nostalgia. I grew up with Shakin' Stevens. Not literally, he was on in the background. As was Chris Rea with Driving Home for Christmas. Driving home for Christmas. I can't wait to see those faces. Sounds like Kermit the Frog. I'll never do that again. Slade, Wizard. These songs didn't make it to America. Where instead you've got Dominic the Donkey and Grandma got run over by a reindeer.
We heard this song in the last video. I've not seen your guys' comments because we're filming these in bunches. Because I'm not filming over the Christmas period. Maybe that is a real song. Grandma got hit by a reindeer. Maybe it is. Or is it just an ongoing joke that he's telling? I'm looking into his eyes, and I can't tell with Lawrence.
Two songs that make Paul McCartney's lyrics look like Leonard Cohen. Then again, America did provide some classics like White Christmas or Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree.
Mariah.
So it sort of just feels 50-50. On this occasion, I'm going to have to go with the music that I grew up with.
Good lad.
Even if that includes Cliff Richard.
2-1 to the United States.
This is tricky because Christmas family get-togethers...
What was that, sorry? Family time.
This is tricky because Christmas family get-togethers...
He said in a previous video, you guys don't get Boxing Day, so we get more time with our family.
Are different on either side of the pond. In Britain, they're smaller, intimate affairs, which I quite like. I'm an introvert. I don't want to be around lots of people that I don't like. And those small family get-togethers usually consist of the best family members, so you don't have any of the riffraff there. But because of that, you do feel obligated to be ever present. On the other hand, in the United States, where you have much larger family gatherings, it can be overwhelming for people like me, especially if my wife's cousin Chad has been at the tequila. And that's because, you'll have 20, 30, 40,000 family members all in the same house at the same time. And because of that, I then turn to the tequila and nobody wins. But in all seriousness, it is a joyful occasion until somebody brings up how the Electoral College works. And if you are an introvert like me, you can just shuffle off into one of the side rooms and nobody knows where you are or what you're doing. Not that I'm doing anything untoward. And anyway, nobody remembers Christmas 2014, so shut it. Once again, it's almost impossible to choose between them. And I think because I had the same dilemma over music and I went with Britain, I think to even the odds, I'm going to go with America on this one. But I still love you, Mom and Dad and everyone.
On the fence. Food. Now. I don't know. I've watched a lot of American food videos and your food does quite often look better than ours, I'm not going to lie. This will be interesting. This will be interesting.
This is just unfair, asking me to decide who does the better Christmas food, Britain or America. Somebody posted on Twitter the other day, let's settle the debate, British bacon or American bacon.
British bacon.
Obviously, there's nothing to do with Christmas.
British
but the point
bacon,
is, I love both in equal measure and for completely different reasons. And the same is true with Christmas food. There are pros and cons to both. Actually, there aren't many cons. It's mostly pros. All food is good, right? Unless it's got cinnamon in it. I mean, in England, I grew up with mince pies, Christmas pudding, the staples. Not literal staples, that would be really dangerous. And then when the family comes around, it's finger food, sausages on a stick, sausage rolls, just basically sausage. And then you wash it all down with a nice drink of Advocaat or 7. I promise there's more to British Christmas food than that, but stunningly, that's what's entering my head as we speak. Both countries might have turkey as the centerpiece, but America will often not have that. It might surprise you with ham or chicken or just any other meat you can think of. So I suppose that's good for variety, but on the other hand, I kind of like the consistency of only having turkey. This is really hard to answer. I love pecan pie, so that might sway it more to the United States, but I hate cinnamon, so that might help Britain's cause here. I think, again, nostalgia is going to play its part, and I'm going to have to go with Britain.
I feel like we just got 2 sympathy points at the moment. That's what I'm feeling. I'm feeling he's just keeping it a close game.
Clearly, this one comes down to whether or not you want a white Christmas. Obviously, Bing Crosby did. But then he also sang, I'll be home for Christmas, you can count on me, I'll be home for Christmas, but only in my dreams. Which is it, Bing? And as somebody who lives in Chicago, I don't necessarily share his dream. But in the lead up to Christmas, as I said in my November special, there is something a little magical about, you know, heaps and heaps of snow falling into your face, while the warm glow of Christmas lights does its best to melt it, the snow, not my face. On the other hand, white Christmases in Britain are very rare. And I suppose when I lived there, I did get caught up in the whole, ooh, please be a white Christmas. But now it's not such a big deal to me, probably because as a YouTube sensation, I can make a white Christmas happen at any time. So perhaps controversially, I think that Britain has the best Christmas weather. Which means that it's now 3-3 and we go to a penalty shootout. Feel free to use this in our World Cup highlights package.
Films. Ooh.
Who does the best Christmas films? I suppose this could come...
Is Die Hard a Christmas film? Let me know down in the comments. Controversial one. Set at Christmas time.
Down to whether or not you believe that The Muppets Christmas Carol is British or American. It is American made, obviously, because of Jim Henson Productions and Disney's involvement in the making of the film, but it is set in Britain and it does star Michael Caine. I think that means it's one each in this penalty shootout. So moving on to other films. Ooh, Love Actually. I mean, it's very divisive. I don't mind it. It's good. But I can see why people hate it. What else have we made? What are the Christmas films? I mean, all of the other Scrooge films. The Alistair Sim one, people always say that's the best. So we've got that in our locker. What does America have?
They have a lot.
Except for
Santa Claus. Die Hard is coming up.
Die Hard.
Elf, man. Elf probably takes it. You know, Home Alone, Elf.
It's a Wonderful Life.
It's a wonderful,
and
yeah,
A
you
Christmas
guys
Story.
win. Honestly, you guys
The
win.
Santa Claus, 1, 2, and 3. White Christmas, Elf, Did I say Gremlins? The Christmas Chronicles, frankly, just watched it. It was a decent little
you have Hollywood.
The Holiday is basically British-American as well. I just don't know that this is a fight that Britain can win.
No.
So, appropriately, given that America popularized a lot of the Christmas customs that we use today, America, you, due to the heroic actions of a metaphorical goalkeeper, officially do better Christmases than Britain. Britain, don't worry, because you do way more TV specials. That's another category. We're going to an 8th category.
Oh, out of nowhere. We got a chance
That's right.
to the game.
Some of the greatest British television ever made just happened to take the form of a Christmas special. We love doing that. I mean, most of our comedies have a special that airs on or around Christmas Day. But it isn't just comedy. It happens in Doctor Who, soap operas, panel shows, probably detective shows. Even the Weather Report becomes Christmasified. And the thing is about all of these things is that they usually get some sort of extended runtime because they are literally a special. Whereas this isn't such a big thing in America. I mean, sure, you have TV shows that have themes of Christmas in them, but it seems to be rare that they are purposely extended and epic like they are in Britain. To be fair, I haven't researched this because I just thought of this category on the fly, but that's how it feels.
You're just trying to tie the game.
If it's untrue, let me know in the comments below. In any case, Britain wins this round and the points are shared. And so a big happy Christmas to all of my subscribers, including my wife's cousin Chad. And if
he sat on the fence at the end, he's ended it with a 4-all tie. I don't know. We got a couple of pity points in there, it seemed like. I don't know. Christmas is just... Everyone has the best Christmas, don't they? To themselves, you know what I mean? Spend time with your family. Have a few beers. Eat too much food. Get some presents. Give some presents, you know. It's mainly for the kids, though, isn't it? Come on. It's mainly for the kids. I really enjoyed this video. I had a good laugh. Lawrence, always a good time. Make sure you go and check his channel, Lost in the Pond. Make sure you subscribe to my channel if you are enjoying the videos. Give the video a like. Comment down below, and I'll see you for the next one. Take it easy. Peace.